I am 54 years old, postmenopausal. I have been struggling with my weight on and off for about the last 2 years or more. I've been living in a body that I did not even recognize. However, I am happy to say that I think I've cracked the code, and it wasn't starving myself. It wasn't going on fad diets. It wasn't working out hours on end in the gym or running miles and miles and miles. It was just taking the time to research, having the patience, and stop doing things that were fighting against my body instead of figuring out what my body really needed during this phase of my life. Because when I first realized that it was time for me to do something about my weight, my immediate go-to was just to do the things that used to work for me back in the day. And when those things weren't working, I got so frustrated. I was just ready to throw in the towel and just figured I just have to accept it. This is life. It is what it is. But that was very short-lived, because not only did I feel like I was overweight, I just wasn't comfortable anymore. And so it was not as much anymore about the size of my clothes or the number on my scale. It was about my knees feeling stiff and having trouble walking up and down the steps. It was about seeing my blood pressure start to spike again after it had been under control for quite some time. It was about being exhausted all the time, not feeling like I was ever getting enough rest or enough sleep. And so it was easy enough to just accept it. If it was just the weight, it's just like, okay, it's whatever. But when it's affecting every aspect of your life, I'm like, no, I can't give up. I have to figure this out. And thank goodness, after a lot of patience, a lot of research, and a lot of lifestyle changes, I finally cracked the code. And so I know that I'm not alone in dealing with things like this. The struggle is real once you become a woman of a certain age. And so I just figured I have to share this with my tribe. Now, of course, I am not a medical professional, and I can't say that just because this worked for me, it's gonna work for you. But what I do know for sure is there are certain things when you reach a certain age that we all should probably be doing or looking into. And so it just made sense for me to share. And so a couple of the things that I want to share with you are really simple, but it's also going to be about just unlearning things. So the number one thing for me is I realized that I was not eating enough. My go-to was always to deprive myself of food. And so anytime I wanted to lose weight in the past, I immediately would start eating less, to the point where I had been doing 1 meal a day fasting for like the past 2 years. The only time I would eat more than 1 meal a day is like if we were on vacation. And so I would only eat 1 meal a day, and that meal would be dinner. Well, I didn't realize that at this age, that is the last thing we need to do. Not only do we need to eat more than 1 meal a day, we need to eat in the morning. So we're back to that breakfast is the most important meal of the day. And again, not for everyone necessarily, not for every age, because the intermittent fasting and the 1 meal a day fasting at one point in my life, it did work for me. But now I need to eat. And so I eat every day, first thing in the morning, within 30 to 45 minutes waking up. And when I do eat, I make sure that it is protein heavy. And so in the morning when I wake up, I'm either having a protein shake or I'm having some egg whites and a piece of sausage, but I'm eating something. I am getting some protein in my body immediately, because that lets your body know you are going to feed it. We don't have to hold on to any fat. We are going to have fuel, and it gives your body something to have energy from, because my lack of eating was also causing some of the fatigue. And I wasn't drinking enough either. And so along with getting some protein in the morning, I also make sure that I get hydration in the morning. I drink a bottle of water every morning as soon as I wake up, and it has made such a world of difference. And I eat 3 meals a day, but all of my meals are protein heavy, and I make sure that I get my vegetables in every day. I get my fiber in every day, and it has been working for me so much better than starving myself. And getting my hydration as well, because I was starving myself and I was always dehydrated. No wonder I was tired. Something else that I was making a mistake of doing was not eating in the morning, but then I would work out in the morning. And so I would get up in the morning, maybe have some water. Sometimes I did, sometimes I didn't. And then I would work out. So now I'm stressing my body out on an empty stomach. So it makes your cortisol spike, and it makes you hold on, especially to that stubborn belly fat that is so unhealthy for you. And so my regimen now is I get up in the morning, I make sure I have my protein heavy breakfast, whether that's going to be a protein shake, some eggs, whatever it is. Then I chill out for about 30 minutes or so, do my meditation, do my journaling, do my devotional, whatever it is that I'm going to do, listen to a podcast, whatever, and then I work out. And that has been working out so well for me. And the other thing is, I used to work out like an hour and a half. I would be on the elliptical machine for an hour, and then I would maybe go to some kind of class, or I would go and run 5 miles, not realizing that that is not the kind of exercise that I need at this age. All of that heavy cardio is not good for us at this age. What we need to be doing, and I had no idea, is strength training. We started losing muscle like in our mid to late 30s. And muscle is what we need in order to continue to have our mobility, to be able to climb up and down those steps, to be able to get ourselves in and out of bed, up and down from a chair. We need to be building muscle. We need that muscle so that we can continue to be mobile as we get older. And so I cut out all of that cardio. Now, it's still important to get some steps in. It's still important to move. And so when I say I cut out cardio, it's not that I do not do any cardio, but I just don't do intense cardio. Most days I'll get on my walking pad. I'll do a mile, mile and a half, 2 miles max, and I'm walking. I do not run anymore at all. I'm walking. I'm not putting that stress of running on my body. I walk, and I aim for 10,000 steps a day, but you don't need all that either. If I could get anywhere between 7 to 10,000 steps a day, that's a perfect place to be in. And so I get those miles in, but what I make sure I don't miss, and I do at least 3 to 4 times a week, is strength training. And again, it's not like it has to be this long drawn out routine. I only do it for about 20 minutes. I have a couple of different YouTube videos that I watch, and I do those routines. And I just do it with heavier dumbbells. When I first started on this journey about 3 months ago, I was doing 10 pounds. Then I moved up to 20 pounds. Now I'm up to 30-pound dumbbells, and I can really feel the difference. I'm starting to get my muscles in my arms. I'm seeing a little definition. I love when I kind of rub my arms and actually feel the muscle. I get on the leg machine. I do my squats, starting to get that definition in the thighs and then the calves, and it is amazing. The inflammation is gone in my knees. I no longer have any issues with the steps. I'm able to get on my knees and clean and do different things. I mean, I used to dread any time I would have to get on the floor. And also with this, I'm doing stretching as well, because that helps us, to be able to get up, push ourselves up. Like, it has been a dramatic change for me. Now, with the muscle, I have to say and let y'all know that I've also added creatine into my regimen. And creatine is something natural. Our bodies automatically produce it, but we don't normally have enough of it. And so I do creatine every single morning before I wake up as well. I'll either put it in my protein shake, or sometimes I just put it right in my water. But creatine is not anything that's going to like make you bulk up, which is what I used to think. But what it does, it distributes the fluid in your body and makes it go to your muscles. And so it's just a little easier to build the muscles. But what I feel like is the most beneficial for creatine for me is the cognitive that you get with it. It helps you with your cognitive, which we know we all worry about once we reach this point in life. And so with cutting back on the cardio, adding the heavy weights, eating 3 meals a day, eating as soon as I wake up, adding the creatine, in just 3 months period, I have been able to lose 30 pounds, 31 to be exact. And I've also gained 3% in muscle mass. That is phenomenal to me. And as I sit here today, I am just 3 pounds from my buffer weight, which would actually put me at 165 pounds, which is the same weight I was when I graduated from high school. That is a win for me. Now, I joke and tell my husband that 165 pounds at 54, I'm 54, doesn't look the same as 165 pounds when I was 18. However, I'll take it. I mean, gravity is gravity. It's going to do what it's going to do, and there's not a whole lot we could do about that. But just to see not just the pounds going down on the scale, but to see my body actually transforming. Because there were times before when I got really close to this weight. And one time, I think when I was training for the marathon, I even got down to 162, but I was just skinny. I had no muscle whatsoever because all I was doing was running and starving myself. So now it's just great to see how my body is actually transforming. I'm actually getting some muscle tone. I'm feeling stronger, because when I was just doing cardio all the time, I was tired all the time. I felt weak. I wasn't able to open jars. It was just like, I was just skinny. But now I actually feel strong, and the inflammation is gone, and I just feel more secure in the skin that I'm in. And I just think those are some things that women of our age don't know enough about. At least I didn't. I had no idea how important it was to lift weights. I would have never really thought about lifting weights before I did this research. I had no idea how important it was for us to fuel our body, and that intermittent fasting and 1 meal a day is not good for us at this age. And it was a little awkward in the beginning. I have to admit, I was terrified to eat more. But now I realize I'm working with my body. I'm working with my metabolism. My body knows I'm going to feed it, so it's not holding on to that fat. It's using my food for energy. Muscle helps your metabolism. You have the muscle, you're building the muscle, so your body starts to burn the fat. I mean, this has just been eye-opening for me. And it's let me know that, yeah, I may be, more seasoned. There's more days added to my life. However, I don't have to be weak. I don't have to be frail. I don't have to just lay down and let life happen to me. And just because the things that used to work for me don't work for me anymore, it doesn't mean that there isn't something that is going to work for me. And so I just thought that it was important for me to share that with you all. I know that my journey is not the same as your journey, but if anything that I said seems like something that you might want to try, I urge you to do that. Do your research, talk to your doctor, but just those little simple changes have been so awesome for me, and the results that I've seen just in the past 3 months. And this is something that I can do long term. I mean, I'm actually working out less. I'm not spending nearly as much time working out as I used to. My workouts now are like 30, 45 minutes max, 3-4 times a day. 3-4 times a week. I'm not depriving myself of food. I'm eating 3 meals a day, and it just works for me. Another thing that I realized too is I didn't have to completely let go of carbs. Like, I thought that carbs were the enemy, but our body needs carbs, whole foods, things that are natural. I've introduced beans back into my diet, sweet potatoes, brown rice, different things like that. And I'm not gaining weight. Why? Because I have a system. I'm not just sitting down and eating a plate of mashed potatoes. I have a healthy plate of food, and it's always going to be protein heavy. But you can eat carbs and still lose weight. And so I just wanted to share that with y'all because this has just been so liberating for me. My goal this year is just to get in the best shape that I've been in my adult life. And it's not about being skinny, because I've been smaller than this. Like I said, I think I got down to like 162 back when I was training for the marathon, but I didn't feel good. And I felt weak and I felt tired. And so when I say the best shape in my life, I'm not just talking about the scale. The non-scale victories are what are even more important, like to not feel that pain and inflammation in my knees anymore, to be able to lift things, open a jar, up and down the steps, to see my blood pressure number start to drop. That's what means the most to me. I mean, it is a bonus to be able to go to my closet now and not worry about whether or not my clothes are going to fit, which that is so funny too. I was telling my husband, it's crazy how I wear like a size 8, 10. And so that's all I have in my closet. And I'm like, but how does an 8-10 fit me when I was 202 pounds, but it still fits me now and I'm 167 or 68 pounds? It's hilarious, but it's a blessing because I don't have to buy new clothes. But what I can say is it looks a little different depending on what weight I am, but I'm able to fit my clothes now. A lot of the 8s I couldn't fit when I got up to 202. And this is my first time ever saying my weight out loud on the interwebs. As a matter of fact, this is my first time that my husband, since we've been together, has ever known my weight. Even when I was skinny, he didn't know my weight. But this has just been so like wonderful for me. I'm screaming it from the rooftops. Yes, over the past couple of years, I had gotten up to 202 pounds, which is the heaviest I've ever been in my life, other than when I was pregnant with my sons. And so to go from 202 to 167, 168, whatever now, what am I now? 168, I believe, was this morning. And that was just in a matter of 3 months, and making changes that were relatively easy. Like, this isn't starvation. This isn't crash diet. These were just making some changes that made sense so that my body could function the way it needed to function. I mean, I have the fiber in my life, so I'm using the bathroom more consistently. And that's something that I don't worry about as much anymore either, because I learned that everybody's not going to go every day. It just makes sense that you are not uncomfortable. And so there are times where I might skip a day, but it's no more where I'm going 5-6 days and can't use the bathroom. So it just makes sense. You have to figure out what works for your body in order for your body to function the way it's supposed to. So hopefully something that I said has encouraged someone to let you know that, yeah, this is a rough time in our lives. Because we're changing, and again, we're living in bodies that we never lived in before. But don't give up. Do your research. Talk to your doctor, because it is figure-outable. And I know that might not be a word, but I like to say it. But anyway, if you stayed this long, hopefully you liked something you heard. Please take the time out to give the video a like. Share it with someone in your tribe who might be dealing with the same thing. And if you haven't already subscribed, I would love for you to consider doing that as well and becoming a permanent part of this Lifer tribe. And until next time, y'all know the drill. Always be kind and love one another, but don't forget to live your life. LYFE. Love yourself first explicitly. And I'll see y'all on the next one. Bye.